Hi, I'm Jay Holstine. I'm a seasoned, experienced CEO. I've led several international software companies, and currently I am the Vistage leader of a CEO peer group in Dallas. As well, I also consult with a couple private equity firms, as well as a very large family office to help them with CEO mentoring, turnaround consulting, various types of projects. And so, what I wanted to do to talk with you about today is this video is the second of a three-part series where we really kind of delve into the people component within Gino Wickman's book titled Traction. If you saw the first video, just quick recap. This we focused on the right people, which is folks that share your core values, the right seat. Somebody in this seat is performing this seat particularly well. We worked and also talked about some nuances in terms of right people, wrong seat, and wrong people, right seat. So please, if you missed that, go back, watch that video. I think you'll be able to get some value from that video. Now, in this video, what I plan to do is really kind of get into and spend some time on a tool that's provided through the EOS, which is called the People Analyzer. And I find this fits very, very well with my mindset. So as a mechanical engineer, I always found people discussions to be way too subjective, way too qualitative. I always found that in decision making, I was trying to figure out how to take this nebulous, qualitative, subjective aspect, get it to a number. I could make the decision from a number, and then if I had to, flip it back to the qualitative, subjective. And so this tool does that. And so once again, think Excel spreadsheet. Most all of us have been using Excel spreadsheets for some time. The rows are your employees and the columns are your core values. And so then the cells within, what you'd want to do is flag them by, either a plus, yes, this person meets this core value, a plus minus, which is, yep, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, and then a minus, which is they don't. And so then you can go across and look at this for each of the core values, each of your people, and then you have the ability to sum it up. And so, every company has their own bar of what is kind of the minimum table stakes to be a member of their company. From the companies that I've headed up, kind of our rule was, let's say we had 5 core values. We were looking for at least 3 pluses, 2 plus minuses, and we would terminate somebody who had a minus. And so I know that terminate may sound harsh, but this is a person who doesn't meet with the core value. And we provided a process. In our case, we called it the 3-strike process, where once this kind of determination was made, hey, this person doesn't meet the core value, we would sit down with them and provide very concrete examples of where they didn't meet the core value and say, hey, let's give you 30 days and see if you have the ability to correct this. If during that 30 days they fail, come back and say, this wasn't good, but we're going to give you another opportunity. We're going to give you another 30 days to try to kind of pull this around. And certainly if that fails, then it's difficult for leopards to change their spots. At that point, you just have to go ahead and sever the person and find somebody who is the right person for the right seat. And so, and that works. And usually what happens is everybody in the organization thanks you once that person is no longer there, because they recognize that this person was not rowing in the same direction as everybody else. And so the People Analyzer, I found it to be really valuable in at least 4 different scenarios. One scenario is if we applied it early in the process, let's say during the core values piece, you could take the executive leadership team, put them through the core values. If you find that there's a core value that most of you don't comply with, then maybe that's not one of the company's core values, and you ought to swap it out for a different core value. So, it does give you a very good gauge to assess those core values early in the process. Also at that time, if you find somebody on the executive leadership team that is not a good fit, where they don't map with the core values, it's good to know that early because this thing becomes a waterfall. So they then take it and they use the core values, the people analyzer with their direct reports, and the next manager does with their direct reports. And so if you have somebody at the leadership team that's not pulling the same direction with the core values, that is something you really, really want to nip at the bud early on. And once again, let's apply the same 3-strike rule. Now, once you've kind of said, boom, we've got it, these are the right core values, this is good, our leadership team complies with it, you definitely want to take it to the rest of the organization, because this gives them a chance to get acquainted with, here are our core values. You also, thirdly, want to use it again whenever you have performance reviews. A lot of companies do this quarterly, maybe your company is annual, but during that quarterly review process, use the people analyzer, show people where they line up. I also think it's really good to let the individual come back and do a people analyzer with their supervisor. I'm a big fan of those 360 reviews, and as a CEO, it's really helpful to see how the subordinates feel about the supervisor. And so I think it's very valuable information. Whenever you have personnel issue, something kind of comes up, there's a problem. Once again, apply the people analyzer. If you do that, you find out that you do have that this person is the right person, they align with your core values, then maybe the issue is that it's not the right seat. And that is a great segue to our third video, because in the third video, it is the accountability chart, which is all about finding the right seat. And so if you like this video and found it valuable, please subscribe to my channel. Please like this video, and I hope that you will watch the third video in this series. Thank you very much. Take care. Goodbye.